Hi, welcome to some more good news. A quick sneak preview of H4AsyncWebServer working some magic. But first, please subscribe to the channel, click on the like button, click the bell icon to get notified, and support me on Patreon if you can. There's a link in the description below. A lot of people using ESP8266 and ESP32 would like to have a dynamically updating web user interface. They find an asynchronous web server which claims to support sockets, and what they'd like to do is then have a simple web page like this with a very simple socket JavaScript code like this, and then they'd like to write some code like this in their app and have the user interface get updated almost in real time. So they try the async web server, they take it at its word that it will run sockets, and they'll put that code up and they'll get something like this. And the first thing they notice is that some of the data is missing, which doesn't bode well. Then they might decide that it would be nice if, when they look at the output from the program, that if they have multiple instances of it, that those multiple instances will provide the same data. And what they'll find is that indeed they do provide the same data, in that they also lose some of the data and don't update properly. And then they find that when they close one down, the device crashes. And what they'll find is that when it reboots, if they try and run it again, that even just that one instance will crash. So the bottom line is that ESP-AsyncWebServer does not and cannot properly handle WebSocket messages. But it's not all bad news, boys and girls, because as you can see here, there are ways to do what you want to do. The biggest difference there, apart from the fact that it's working exactly as you intended it to, is the fact that it's using H4AsyncWebServer library, which is itself based on H4AsyncTCP, both of which were written specifically to get round the problems in the other more well-known libraries. So here's another little side bonus, is that if we have multiple instances of this, let's be bold and go for 3. Let's be dangerous. Live life on the edge. So there we've got 3 instances of the WebSocket code running, and you'll see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 data fields being updated there, and 3 different browsers, meaning that we are sending 30 WebSocket messages per second to keep those interfaces updated. Now the good news is that when you close them down, the server doesn't crash. There's more good news in that the SSE, or server sent events, which are also severely broken in the other libraries, also work a treat at very high speed with no problems in the new H4 libraries. So really, unless you want to understand why it is that those other libraries don't work, which I'm just about to cover, that's the end of this video. Just lots of good news all round. WebSockets working on async web server on ESP32 and 8266. Still alpha, and will be released within the next day or two, but keep your eyes open. As always, thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe, like, click the notification button and support me on Patreon if you can. Thanks, and see you next time.